The Safford City Council admitted to unknowingly breaking the letter of the law during its councilor appointment process, but was able to rectify the situation with the help of its interim city attorney at its Monday night meeting. One of the applicants for the appointment, Mel Taylor, spoke at the council meeting and said the council broke the law because they did not give him written notice of the executive session so he could choose to have his interview in open session instead. Additionally, Taylor said he was upset because City Manager David Kincaid was allowed to sit in the executive sessions and advise the council on the appointment process.
This started off as me complaining about who was present. Your lawyer had looked it up and it said that you could have whatever people you thought were necessary to achieve your goal in that meeting. And I protested the fact that a subordinate is never involved in the process of selecting the supervisor. And you gave me a copy with that letter of the law. So I read the law. You gave me the copy, so I read it. And you basically advised me that you were probably in violation of the law and that it was only a small part of the law, so you didn't think it was a big deal. And you told me that you thought it was really necessary for Mr. Kincaid to be present.
Let me correct you right there. I didn't say that I didn't think it was a big deal. I said that it was probably me, the buck would stop with the mayor, and I was the one that didn't read the law, and I admitted to you that I didn't, but I never said it wasn't a big deal. I admitted that it was an infraction on the law and that we would have to address it. But I didn't ever say it wasn't a big deal, so I just want to correct you.
I stand corrected.
Okay. We did violate that part of the law, and I said that what we would try to do is take steps in this meeting, allow the open forum that we're doing today, and that we would request that our attorney look at this and see what we need to do to correct this in the future. There's nothing we can do about it now. I mean, it's been done, we've made an appointment.
Concerning the first matter, I can tell you that cities and towns all over this state do allow the manager to sit in executive session for a variety of reasons. The problem, or the burden of city council, is that it's a 24-hour job, but you don't work 24 hours. And as a result, there's any number of intricacies and facts and circumstances and events that some of these gentlemen aren't aware of. And so it is appropriate to have the manager sitting in the executive session, not to evaluate candidates, but to assist them in their evaluation. Secondly, the issue concerning the failure to give the notice to the individuals. I can tell you, you have the best city clerk in this state. And she makes my job so much easier knowing she's here watching the documents flow. I can tell you, and in fact, I've already met with 2 clerks from other cities and have asked if they knew that when they conducted these interviews, they needed to give the candidates the notice. And the reason they often don't recognize that fact is that it is customary when you're talking about interviewing an employee, but technically the law applies to candidates. And so other jurisdictions forget. And that's what happened. There was a technical glitch in that they forgot to give the notice. They did give the notice on the website. They did give the notice on the agenda. They did give the public notice at the official posting, but they didn't go the one next step and provide written notice to each of the candidates, and for that there is a violation. Having said that, and having recognized that cities and towns stumble over that all often, it's a relatively easy solution. The statutes provide for a process whereby the act can be ratified, and that's item 6 on tonight's agenda. And the statutes require that the government, the public body, make available to the public the deliberations leading up to the selection. Now that's a challenge in that these deliberations were all conducted in executive session. So we did the best we could. We provided public access to the open minutes, and for those candidates who wished to review the executive session minutes of their interview, they were allowed access to those interviews. I have given the opinion to the mayor and council that that complies with law, and that if they wish to, they can then take the next step and vote to ratify the prior act. Bottom line, it is appropriate to have the manager in executive session. You have the best city clerk in the state. There was a technical error. We intend to fix that tonight. Mayor.
Thanks, Mr. Sims.
I apologize, and the manager points out, and the selection was made in the open meeting. It wasn't made in e-session. I apologize, yes.
I can appreciate the fact that what you're saying is that when you violate the law, you want a do-over. There's a lot of people who would love to have a do-over after they violated the law. And I want to remind you of something that you all are absolutely aware of. That you took an oath of office, and I'm saying you violated that oath when you violated the law the other night. So I call upon all of you right now to resign for violating the open meeting law and violating your oath. And if you people back behind me think that's funny, that's fine. You violated the oath. You promised me you would follow the law when I voted for you. And you broke that promise. And on the way out, you can fire these two guys over here for not advising you.
Thanks, Mel, I appreciate your comments. And
it's my understanding if action is taken and there's a violation of the open meeting law, that action is null and void. And we corrected that this evening using the ratification process. And I would just like to say, I didn't feel like that there was any intention, and I would apologize if it were the opinion of the people here this evening that we were trying to do something illegal or wrong. That's not the case. Obviously we made a mistake, and people weren't notified to the extent of the law. But I think the intent was to try to offer a fair process and have them be involved individually so that each candidate can say what they think and maybe not answer the questions for candidate number 5 and 6 and 7 that maybe didn't have the correct or the most appropriate responses. So having said that, I would just like to say I did take that oath, and I'm sorry I didn't realize that we were making that mistake that evening, and I would just like to say all of this council, I think, did it in the right spirit. Thank you.
The council unanimously ratified Jacque Attaway as its choice, and she took her seat on the council.
then that we ratify the appointment of Jacque Attaway that was made on January 27th. All in favor?
Aye.
And that was unanimous. And so with that, what I'd like to do is to invite Jacque to come up and join the council.
This has been John Johnson reporting for the Eastern Arizona Courier in Safford.
Welcome, Jacque.
Thank you very much.
And that would bring us